Clear footage of multiple UFOs recorded and seen by dozens of people in Florida. This is on Collective Spark by Steve McCamley from Collective Evolution. There's a video embedded here of one of thousands of floating around the internet of supposed footage of unidentified flying objects. But keep in mind, many pictures and videos of these crafts have been published and analyzed thoroughly, so there is no shortage of verified footage and pictures. Now, the thing is that you can see this image. These images are so far off in the distance. From my own account, I wouldn't know what they were. They could be flares simultaneously coming up from speedboats that are located in that location, and the people are so far away sitting on the beach looking at them. I don't know. What do you think? But anyway, you'll have to see the video. This one in particular comes from Dr. Stephen Greer, founder of the Disclosure Project and the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, cc.jpg, known to some as the father of the disclosure movement. He was instrumental in bringing forth hundreds of military whistleblowers of all ranks with verified backgrounds, and one of his guests many times, one of his guests was former Canadian Minister of Defense Paul Hellyer, and they shared their experience and testified on UFO extraterrestrial phenomenon. There is admittedly plenty of disinformation also being spread within the ufology field, and many people seeking to manipulate the evidence in public opinion, which makes it difficult to assess what is legitimate and what is not. And it unfortunately comes down to doing your own research and using your best judgment. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Greer has had meetings with high-level people in the Pentagon. According to himself, Dr. Edgar Mitchell, Apollo 14 astronaut, who accompanied him on some of these meetings and many more. Dr. Greer has been doing he was basically, before his interest in ufology, he was an ER surgeon. Dr. Greer has been doing these types of outings for quite a while, and he's not the only one. Last year, a couple of members made a trip to out to the gathering of researchers and whistleblowers, enthusiasts, and witnessed something similar. And when you get to that level and hang around these types of people, you're going to draw attention. And anybody who draws massive amounts of attention will be praised as well as vilified. Within the UFO movement, there are those that disagree and don't associate with each other, which is very weird and should not be happening, but it is happening. Now, it's safe to say probably that UFOs are no longer a fringe topic. We know that the Department of Defense will be coming out with some kind of UFO disclosure June 1st, from what they say. Now, as their existence has been verified in the mainstream world, beyond that, most people are still in the dark, though. It's important to keep in mind that a decade ago, you were considered a conspiracy theorist for even believing in the existence of UFOs, but it seems things have changed since then, but believing that some of these craft are extraterrestrial in origin is still considered out there. This is why so many scientists around the world have been urging the scientific study of UFOs for decades. The Sturrock Report, for example, an effort that gathered the world's top minds, was put together in the form of a paper urging that if analysis of physical evidence turns out very strong evidence that objects related with UFO reports were manufactured outside the solar system, then one must obviously consider very seriously that the phenomenon involves not only extraterrestrial vehicles, but probably also extraterrestrial beings. Let's keep in mind, though, that these could be beings from interdimensional areas and even demonic. Okay, we know that from various Christian Orthodox priests and monks, even the ones living on Mount Alphas where no women are allowed, they have experience with such phenomenon, and they claim that a demonic entity can turn itself into a Zoftic woman, or even a mountain, or even a car, or even an aircraft, and even a UFO, or even an extraterrestrial. So keep that in mind, in order to keep us away from our love and belief of God, Christ, which is one, of the Holy Trinity. So that's the aim of them. Now, their main objective here, it says, was to examine any possible physical evidence and have it carefully collected and analyzed. These objects have been commonly photographed as well as tracked on air and ground radar. Now, there are also anthropologists, archaeologists that claim that there could be remnants of Atlanteans and their technology still around us, hiding in some locations on Earth. Now, going back to the article, one example used in the Sturrock report was a photo taken by 2 Royal Canadian Air Force pilots on August 27, 1956 in McLeod, Alberta, Canada. The pilots were flying in a formation of 4 F-86 Sabre jet aircraft. One of the pilots described the phenomenon as a bright light which was sharply defined and disc-shaped that looked like a shiny silver dollar sitting horizontal. Another pilot managed to photograph the object. Now, the analysis of this case was also published in the Journal of Scientific Exploration. It's one of the many examples to give you an idea, and many documents indicate electrical equipment failure when entering the vicinity of these UFOs, like this one from the National Security Agency, NSA. And just as there are evidence for UFOs when they're still considered a conspiracy, most, if not all, researchers who have studied this phenomenon will tell you with absolute certainty that there is ample evidence to suggest what's known as the extraterrestrial hypothesis. And so will high-ranking whistleblowers with verified backgrounds, credible people that is, from various decades, from various countries too, from Herman Oberth, one of the founding fathers of modern rocketry, to Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon. And it's similar to Snowden's mass surveillance revelation, which also used to be considered a conspiracy theory. His story stands as a great example of just how hard it is for someone to blow the whistle on a secret. Now, there is a serious possibility that we are being visited and have been visited for many years by people from outer space, from other civilizations. This should be subject of rigorous scientific investigation and not the subject of rubbish by tabloid newspaper. This is what Lord Admiral Hill Norton, former Chief of Defence Staff, 5-star General of the Royal Navy of the UK, of course, Chairman of the NATO Military Committee, said. These objects perform maneuvers that defy our understanding of physics. What's more, there have been strange reports of involvement with and of extraterrestrials with a secret space program. Okay, so we have a secret space program too. That's something else we have to get into. So they're involved with that too. And if you listen to the great lecture and learn about this secret space program, you can check out this article. I'm going to check that out for you. If you'd like to go through some of that evidence, you can visit Exopolitics section. Now, this is from real clear footage of multiple UFOs from Collective Evolution, published here under Creative Commons on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.